Hello, Howard's Channel viewers. My name is Tricia Murray. I chair the Voter Information Committee. The Voter Information Committee's charge is to inform and prepare voters on issues to be addressed at annual and special town meetings and the local and annual election, and to encourage voter registration and participation. It is the charge with respect to encouraging voter registration and participation, which informs the committee's initiative to highlight other town committees who are doing important work and maybe looking for members to join their committees. So today I'm joined with Brian Sullivan. And Brian, can you please introduce yourself and share the name of the committee you're representing?
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm Brian Sullivan, and I'm the chair of the Howard Board of Appeals. Where one question that comes up is that the Board of Appeal members are appointed by the Select Board to oversee matters within the jurisdiction of the Howard zoning bylaws.
Great. I was going to ask, what is the charge of your committee?
Well, basically, our responsibility is to hear cases brought before us from residents, applicants that have been denied a building permit by the building commissioner.
Okay.
And that happens quite simply because, mainly in this town, about 40 odd years ago, the town updated its zoning bylaws where they increased the area requirements to 40,000, and typically for residential, to 40,000 square feet for a lot, and they also changed the setbacks to 25 feet from the front and 20 feet from the sides and back. And because of that, a majority of the town is not in compliance to zoning. So when someone wants to do new construction, their setbacks are already within. The house might already be within a setback. They have compliance issues, so they have to come before us for relief, for a special permit or a variance.
Can you share some recent activities or initiatives that the committee has undertaken?
Well, generally we've got, as I mentioned, we generally oversee cases for special permits, which that allows for specific use of the lot, or typically an intensification of your building size when perhaps it's already inside the setbacks. And on a variance, that is something when people need relief because of the shape, size of their lot. Now, recently, we had a case where someone wanted to put on a new deck, and it was a very reasonable request for that, but they need a special permit because the existing deck was already within the setback and was not in compliance. And again, the deck was probably there, prior to the zoning board, the zoning codes being changed. So they came before us for relief. It's our responsibility to see that how they want to intensify perhaps the size of the deck or the structure itself, and to make sure that it's in not only compliance with the code, or can be, but it meets the character of the neighborhood. And all of our decisions, we try to do what's best for not only the resident, but also for the neighborhood, to make sure that any intensification that they're doing to their lot really isn't a problem for the character of the neighborhood.
And can you tell the viewers how many people are on does your committee allow for, and do you have any vacancies right now?
Oh, sure, thank you. In our board, there are 5 members, and also the board size allows for 5 alternates. And currently, we have a need for at least 3 more alternates on the board. We have a member, we have a full member that's going to be leaving at the end of his current term. And one thing about our board is that as an alternate, you're fully engaged in the meetings. And if you watch any of our meetings, you will see the fact that everyone gets involved, and it's difficult if you're just tuning in to know that who's an alternate and who's a member. Basically, typically, often a member can't make it, so an alternate is appointed to vote. But regardless, whether they're voting or not, they're fully engaged regarding asking questions and giving their opinions regarding the case before them.
And are there any, do potential members need a specific background or expertise to be on your committee?
That's a great question. And, you know, the code book can be, I would say the fact, it takes a while to learn it. Mm-hmm. It really does. And also, it takes a while to, you know, understand some of the state laws that are involved. But what it comes down to is no experience is needed because you take the code one case at a time. So as a case comes up, you understand the bylaws, you look at the bylaws that are being affected by this case, and you study those. You can ask me, other members of the board, for comments regarding how to apply the case. Not for their opinion, but what the code means. And we have an excellent zoning and compliance officer on board that's happy to explain the code. But basically, no experience, you can learn the code one case at a time, and after a couple of years being on the board, you pretty much have a handle on all the codes required.
I love the idea of taking it section by section
Yeah,
instead
no,
of trying
because
to learn the whole code.
If you had to learn the whole book at once, it'd be very difficult.
And then just my last question is, what is the meeting schedule for this committee?
We meet typically the last Wednesday of the month.
Mm-hmm.
We meet at 6:30 at the Griffin Room in the town hall.
Okay, great. So if anyone wants to check out what you guys do in person, they can attend your meeting, or also I understand your meetings are televised.
Yes, they are. And so you can tune in.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time this morning.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.